Do you know that feeling when the world is smiling at you and you're smiling back? That is a feeling of financial freedom. We are on episode 2 of the Financial Freedom series, and today's topic is 5 payday mistakes that kept me broke in my early 20s. So make sure you stay tuned in. So, welcome to everyone who has clicked on this video. Welcome to everyone who's new. Welcome to my returning subscribers. Today's topic, I'm chatting about 5 payday mistakes that kept me broke in my early 20s. I'm going to repeat that. 5 payday mistakes that kept me broke in my early 20s. And I actually want to start this one off by reading a comment that I pinned on my last financial freedom video. And it's a comment from Living with Brenda. I'll pin it up somewhere. Still need to figure that out. So Living with Brenda says, my financial plan for 2023 is to start tracking my income and expenses, to first know how my money moves in my life, and being more financially literate, as it is something I was clueless about, and I had a relationship of scarcity around money, even when making enough. And she's all the way from Tanzania. And this actually somewhat inspired this video because when I was going through my comments, a lot of you guys are journeying towards having a better relationship with money. A lot of you guys are journeying towards tracking your spend, knowing how much is coming in. One of you guys actually committed to budgeting this year. And that's exactly what you should be doing. That's the first step towards attaining your financial goals. That's the first step towards achieving financial freedom. You need to start with the budget. As scary as it may sound, as daunting a task as it may be, you have to do it. You have to do it. So, without any further ado, I'm very excited about this one. Let's get into it. If I keep looking down, I do apologize. I've got my notes. I don't want to go on and go. I don't want to go on and on and on and lose track of what we're actually talking about today. So 5 payday mistakes that kept me broke in my 20s. Number 1, having a mental budget. Having a mental budget. That is one payday mistake that kept me broke. I literally had a mental record of how much my net income was because it was more or less always the same every payday, 5 rand difference at the time. It was consistent every month. It was the same deductions, same net income. So I always kept a mental record of how much comes in, how much my debit orders are, and then how much I'm going to be left with after my debit orders have come off. So on payday, I would have a record of that, right? And then I would order in, I would go on a shopping spree, I would basically do things that I did not budget for because in my mind I was like, this is the surplus I have. So from this surplus, I'm going to fill up my tank. I'm going to, do all the things basically that do not have a scheduled payment or do not have a debit order. If you're not from South Africa, because I know I've got 8% of my subscribers are from the USA, some are from Lesotho, and. If you're not familiar with the term debit order, it means that you have signed an agreement with a financial institution. So if you've taken up, for example, a facility or a loan, you've signed an agreement that on this particular day, you can deduct the installment for that particular loan. Okay? So that's what I mean by debit order. So some people pay their debit orders manually. Some people have the debit order. Some people pay their installments manually, and some people have got a debit order system. Okay, so just for clarity. So I had a debit order system, I still do, where on payday, all of my debit orders would deduct on the same day. So if I got paid on the 20th, all my debit orders would deduct. On the 21st, I then have a surplus of whatever amount. Okay. So if I got paid, if my net income was 20,000, my debit orders were 8,000, then I had 12,000 to spend for the rest of the month. Okay. So I had a mental record of that. Okay. So on the 20th, I literally would go and spend on whatever. I would go online and I'd be like, that's a nice coat from Superbalist. Let's grab that. I actually need lipstick. Let's do that, you know? And then the following day, or if payday was on a weekend, I would go to Zara, loyal Zara customer, me, yeah. Go to Zara, buy whatever that I did not need, just because I could, just because I had the money. So on payday, my money literally had a purpose. Even before I sat down to actually see if the money came in, it already had a purpose. It already had needs and wants to fulfill. That was me on payday. But I've changed because I now understand the importance of actually sitting down on a spreadsheet or on a budgeting app and budget. Write down the things that I'm going to spend on. Funny enough, I'm shooting this video on payday. I'm shooting this video on payday. My salary has come in. I haven't planned anything. I haven't sat down and decided, okay, actually, let me just drive around the corner and grab something. I haven't. I've got a budget. A week ago, I did a recap on that budget because I budget 6 months. So from January to June, I've got a budget for every month. So in every month, I know this is how much is going to come in. This is what I'm going to spend on. And so a week ago, I did a recap on that budget. So today, I'm sitting at home. I'm working from home. I'm not going to go anywhere. My money is not going to do anything today because there's nothing that I need to do today that's in that budget. After all my debit orders have gone off, after what I need to pay has gone off, then I'm going to start doing whatever else I needed to do with the surplus that I have. That's my plan. I'm in my 30s. I've got goals of being debt free. I've got goals of not having any unsecured lending in my name. If you're not familiar with the term unsecured lending is any debt that does not have an asset attached to it. So your credit card is an unsecured debt. Your loans be it a student loan, be it a personal loan, be it an overdraft facility, that's unsecured debt. Okay. So if you've got these, then you've got unsecured debt. So that's my goal. I do not want any unsecured debt in my name because that is the most expensive debt you could ever have. Unsecured debt is the most expensive debt you could ever have. I digress. That's not the point of this video. So that was payday mistake number one, having a mental budget and not actually recording physically my income, my expenses. Hence, I read Living with Brenda's comment that she wants to start tracking her income and expenses. And you can't do that mentally. You cannot do that mentally. You have to write it down. You have to see it. At the end of the month, at the end of the month, you have to go and do a recap. Did you stick to the budget? What did you spend on spontaneously? What is on your bank statement that shouldn't be there? That's what a budget is going to help you with. You can't do that mentally. It's going to slip through the cracks. You can't do it. Okay, number two, payday mistake number two. Payday retail therapy. Payday retail therapy. Now, I was the kind of girl who felt like I've worked hard for my money. I have worked hard for this income. And on this day, I'm going to treat myself. Every payday, I used to do my nails. Every payday, I used to have a salon appointment to have my manicure done, to have my pedi done. For why? Why? where was I going? Yes, my nails should look good, but it didn't mean that on every payday I've got a salon appointment. Today I buy myself, if I'm not going to an occasion, if I'm not going to an event, I do my own manicure at home. Believe it or not, I do. Today my nails are not done actually because I'm going to a friend's wedding, what is it called, bridal shower on Saturday. So that I've got an appointment for that. It's not a payday appointment. During the week, I'm gonna have my nails done specifically for that event. If I didn't have that event to attend, I was gonna do my own manicure at home. Because paying 600 rands for a mani and a pedi, make it make sense. For me specifically, I understand that we all on different wavelengths when it comes to our finances. 600 rand to you might be 20 rand, but 600 rand for me and what my goals are currently, it's a lot. I will not do it. It will not happen unless I've got a specific occasion. Okay. So again, different wavelengths, different financial muscles, different financial goals. Okay. So at this, now in my 30s, I won't spend anything more than 1,000 rand nails. No, not this girl, not today. So that is literally what I would do. I would go on retail therapy because I felt like I deserve it. I felt like I needed to pamper myself. I felt like I've worked hard. It gave me instant gratification walking into a Zara store and buying a nice blazer, trying it on, those Zara mirrors, trying it on and feeling some type of way about myself, not even needing the blazer, not even needing the clothing items that I would come back home with. Come back home with carrier bags. Those clothing items would go into my closet. And then I'd still look into my closet and I'm like, I don't have anything to wear. If you're a lady, you will relate. When you look into your closet is full of many clothing items. And you're just there like, I don't have anything to wear. How? Because you've gone and you've shopped for items that are not basic items, that are not everyday wear, and you don't have anything to wear. Today, my shopping system is different. I shop for basics. If I've got a white t-shirt, I've got a black t-shirt, I've got a black base blazer, I've got, the basics. If you know how I dress, you know what I'm talking about. And I invest in quality clothing. Quantity versus quality. Back then, if you walked into my closet, you would see quantity, and I would still not have something to wear. I would still not have anything to wear. Now, you walk into my closet, you see quality versus quantity. I can spend on an item knowing that it's going to last me 5 years plus, because it's more than that just being a clothing item. It's me investing into an item that I know I'm going to get my way out of, basically. So the retail therapy, again, we all have different financial goals. If you are the kind of girl who can go and buy an LV bag or who can go and buy a Gucci, we all have different financial muscles. We all have different financial goals. So if you can do that on payday and you still have got your finances intact and you still are going to achieve your financial goals, then good for you. But if you are the opposite and you're still gonna on payday go and buy a Louis Vuitton or go and buy a Gucci, go and buy a Michael Kors, whatever, item that's basically gonna cost you what you had not budgeted for, that's going to make you feel like you don't have any food in your fridge, but you've got a Louis Vuitton sitting in your closet that you don't carry on a daily basis. Make it make sense. The math for me is not mathing. Make it make sense. Okay? So you got to make some changes. Payday mistake number 3, going grocery shopping without a shopping list. Payday mistake number 3, going grocery shopping without a shopping list. Why? Yes, granted, you might mentally know the items that you need at your house. But if you haven't written them down, if you haven't written what you need, and yes, there might be 1 or 2 or 3 things that were not on your list that you forgot about that you felt like you need, good. But if you are there pushing your trolley at Woolies, I actually saw K Yums making a nice macaroni and cheese. I need that. Why? Why? No judgment, yeah. So that's what I used to do. I literally used to go to a grocery shop and I would buy items that I wouldn't cook. On that same payday, I would order out. My fridge is full of all the items that I purchased with the plan of cooking, but I did not. And at the end of the week, I'm too tired. I'm still ordering takeout. Now I'm throwing things out from the fridge that I did not cook. They're going to waste. That's my money. That's my money going into the bin. And I'm watching it going into the bin. Now I do things differently. Now I shop on a weekly basis. If I know for sure I'm not going to cook that thing, if I know for sure I don't need that thing, I'm not going to buy it. Until the day comes where I'm like, actually, today I feel like cooking this and that. Then I go to the store and I buy it. But if I don't need that on the particular day, in that particular week, why is it in my fridge? Because it's gonna go off. And you know, with Woolies food, it says use by. You'll buy that thing on the 25th. It will say use by the 26th. The pressure is real. You have to use it before that day. Otherwise, by the time you use it, it's not as fresh as it was. And get the nice thing about Woolies, yes, it will give you a 2 days nyan or 3 days nyan. You know, it will still give you a chance before it actually goes off. So you still have you can still make up for, you know, not using it on that particular day. But you know, so that was me. I would buy food, not cook the food, and end up throwing it away. So I don't do that anymore. I've learned so many lessons from that. Payday mistake number 4, not going through my bank statements to see what has come in and what has gone out. And this ties right into the first point of budgeting. If you don't have a budget, if you haven't written down, or if you don't have a budgeting app, I personally use 20'S. I'll link it down below if you would like to try it out. I use that budgeting app, and with the bank that I bank with, they actually have what is called track my spend. So on a monthly basis, you will get an alert that says you have overspent. This is what you had budgeted to spend on groceries. You've overspent. These are the debit orders that still need to come off, which is, I love it. Best thing ever. So it ties into that point of budgeting. You have to, as scary as it is, I know a lot of people. I've worked for an FSP for years. I've worked with clients when I was a financial planner, and it was a daunting task to actually reflect and go onto the bank statement to see what they actually spent on. They didn't want to do that because in their minds, they knew that they had actually spent on things that they shouldn't have. And then come end of the month, when they're sitting on negative 200 Rand or negative, and then come at the end of the month when they're sitting on a negative, they're scared. They're scared to go onto their banking app and scroll and see what did I swipe on? What did I do with the money? You know that feeling when you're like, Aibo, I had so much money. Where did the money go? Where did it go? There's actually a saying that there is too much month and less money. Too much month and less money. If you keep having that feeling that there's too much month and less money, then you got to make some changes. This is your sign today to make some changes. Yeah, I don't want to lose my train of thought. I was reflecting on when I was a financial planner, and I actually had clients who were scared to look at their bank statements because they knew that they didn't spend accordingly. They didn't spend on items that were within their budget. They were living beyond their means. So it was a scary task to actually go onto their apps and look at what they spent on. It was a scary task to print a bank statement and look at what you spent on. You have to do that before it's too late, before you reach a point where you are living on negative month on month. If you don't do that, you're going to find yourself living on negative month on month. So that's payday mistake number 4. Payday mistake number 5, looking forward to the next payday. I was that girl. On the 20th of the month, I would spend because I knew that the next payday is going to come. I would spend knowing that even if I'm left with 2,000 rands, at the end of the day, I would literally count on a daily basis. Okay, the 20th is on this date. We've got 3 more weeks to go. We've got 2 more weeks to go. We've got 5 more days to go. That was me. Very unhealthy. Very, very unhealthy. If you do that, if there's one thing that COVID actually taught us, it's that you can lose your job within blink of an eye. Today, they can replace you. Today, you can be retrenched. Today, you can be without income. Today, you can basically, you can lose your income. The most valuable lesson I learned as a financial planner is that the most valuable thing in your life is not your assets, it's not your car, it's not your house, it's not this, it's not that, it's your income. Your ability to earn an income. I can tell you many stories when I was a financial planner. Many stories. Many stories. If you lose your income, so you cannot live so you cannot live a life where you are looking forward to the next payday. If you're self-employed, you're looking forward to that next big bag. You're looking forward. I watch one of my favorite YouTubers, her name escapes me now, Tandi Gama. Tandi Gama, one of the things she mentioned in one of her videos was that if she gets paid today, in her mind, whatever she's made from a campaign must last her for the next 12 months. Because if you're an influencer, there's no guarantee that that brand is gonna want to work with you again, or there's no guarantee that you're gonna get another brand and so you're basically living with what you've received today. So you with that bag, she said, with that bag, you're not budgeting for January as an example. You're budgeting for January until December. So that's how you have to look at your income. Personally, I've got a 6-month budget. So I know that by June, this is how much debt I should have cut off, for example. I know that by June, this is how my emergency fund should have grown by. I know that by June, this is how much my retirement annuity should have grown by. Because those are the kind of goals that I have. And in your 20s, it's okay to make those mistakes. That's how you learn. But once you reach 27, 28, 29, 30, the conversation needs to start changing. The conversation now needs to be around generating wealth, not generating an income, generating wealth. You're building towards wealth. You're building a property portfolio. You're building an investment portfolio. You're not saving, you're investing. Saving is short term, investing is long term. So that's the kind of conversation you need to be having with yourself now. So let's recap. 5 payday mistakes: having a mental budget, payday retail therapy, grocery shopping without a shopping list, not going through your bank statements to see what has come in and what has gone out. And number 5, looking forward to the next payday. Woo! Child, I'm tired. Tired of speaking. Okay, I'm gonna end this video here today. If you would like me to do maybe another video around payday mistakes, please leave that on the comments down below. I would be happy to do that. Again, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. When I release this today or tomorrow, I would have been sitting on 5,600 views on the first episode of Financial Freedom, but only 700 of you are subscribed. Math is not mathing. Please do subscribe to the channel. Subscription is free, doesn't cost you $1, it doesn't cost you a rand, it doesn't cost you a ruby, it doesn't cost you anything. It's free to subscribe to the channel. And the more subscribers we have, the more reach we have, the more you like the content, the more you comment, the more you share, the more reach we can have on the channel. I really want to share financial literacy. I really want to share financial education because I believe that we're living in a time where people are hungry for such content. People want to grow in their finances. So please work with me. If we can reach 10,000 subscribers, I'm not asking for much, just 10,000 subscribers at the end of the year. And I can't do it without you. So I'm asking you to please subscribe, please share with your friends, let them share with their friends, and their friends and their friends. And let's